So you find yourself on this video looking at my forehead. My hair. I think I'm actually starting to bald. I'm losing the line. It's kind of growing out a little bit. But congratulations, you're here. You've made it. What you're probably wanting to know is, how did someone like me hit 5K, my first real 30 days of promotion inside of Hempworx, and possibly how you can too. And December of 2018 was the same month that the president signed the 2018 Farm Bill into law for the US. And since that point, it's actually starting to go more internationally. I believe we're one of the only companies that can market in the UK. As of shooting this video, I believe we're the only company that can legally market in Nigeria. And so it's exciting to see the growth. But what I want to do by the end of this video is show you exactly what I did to hit 5K. So as you lean in, focus, and pay attention, the reason why you should actually listen is because what were the results that happened from that first real 30 days of promotion, and why should you pay attention today? Well, since that December 2018 of hitting 5K, so really qualifying for 5K the month of January, I think I missed it in February and then requalified again. I want to say it was like March or April or whatever the case may be. Well, the truth is that initial group that I brought in, personally enrolled from the personal enrollment tree, turned into over I think it's over 600 people that have come through the organization, like affiliates, customers, over 600 people personally, because I went through the back office, checked, I went and got everyone's like username, their actual name, their email address, because I wanted to put together a team list. And so it was over 600 people that were on that list. That to me is actually pretty crazy, because if you also count some of the other power team support that we have, like if you click the link in the description and get access to our team, well, we are a community of people that are moving so much faster. And so overall, potentially in the binary part of the pay plan here in Hempworx, I have thousands of people in my organization, so much to the point where I actually made a mistake early on that I put all of my leaders on just this one leg. So I didn't really start building the inside leg because I thought it would be like long term. I see myself here for the next 2 to 5 to 10 to 15 years out. And sometimes it's good advice in network marketing to build one leg at a time. If all you did was build one leg the whole year, then what happens is everyone that's on that leg will continue to stay motivated, and they'll be very incentivized to stay in because there's activity typically happening below them. So it's a great way to create stickiness inside the organization. And if you do that twice, so you do 1 year one leg and then 1 year the next leg, you'll probably have one of the most secure network marketing organizations ever. But the truth of the matter is it's tough to get to that point because it takes long-term vision. It takes really being able to build a team and a community. Like I've got this book, The Ultimate Team Building Formula by Tracy Walker, and if we're like to flip it open, let me see if I can flip this open real quick. I think that's like a picture here. I think Tracy's check at the time was 91,000. In fact, you can actually see in the image that I'm standing behind Tracy, and I'm actually mentioned in here as a success story a couple times for team building. So why should you pay attention is because what I'm going to teach you, and the reason why you're going to want to hit 5K, is because it's going to set you up for the rest of your Hempworx career if you're looking to make the 10K rank or the 25K rank or the 50K rank or the 100K rank, where you start to get some of the car bonuses and the lead expense accounts and really start to delve into the lifestyle of having your monthly expenses being taken care of by a residual income that gives you the ability to where you can say, every day is just a different day, Monday or Saturday. It doesn't really matter. It's just another day. I want to get you to the point of time freedom, so let's dive in. So as we get into the story, I'm eating this oatmeal, and it's got the hot chocolate powder in it. So as you can tell, I like to have fun. In fact, don't you love this Hempworx hemp-infused coffee with the Arabica coffee, the chaga mushrooms? CBD wasn't introduced to me as a business opportunity or a way to profit or make money. It was introduced to me as one of my best friends running over to my house, super excited, super pumped up, knocking on my door. You know how like some people, like they text you if they're outside the house? Well, he was knocking on the door, and when I opened it, he had a tincture in his hand, sharing that I was helping him emotionally, spiritually, helping his body feel better. He goes to the gym, helping out with muscle recovery. He was sleeping better. He went from not having much energy to having lots of energy. And as a marketer on the internet, I'm always looking for products that are going to be the next trend that you can ride for decades and decades and decades. Well, that's crazy to me that he wasn't even an entrepreneur. He wasn't trying to sell me the product. He was coming over strictly as a customer. So a few days later, coincidentally, I received a message from one of the smartest people that I know on the internet, 8-figure earner, who has identified that CBD is going to be the next hot trend that you can ride for decades and decades and decades. Not only that, but he did the research on all of the companies and said that Hempworx, my daily choice, is hands down, it's like night and day. It's like, like head and shoulders above the best company out there that will pay you the most money and provide the purest products. Like, for instance, you look to your left, you look to your right. I live in California. I know it's in Nevada too, maybe even potentially where you live, but it's popping up everywhere, like on the billboards. It's popping up in gas stations, Walmart, shopping malls, grocery stores, even big pharma's trying to cash in. And with how much demand there is, people are asking for it. I go to 24-hour fitness, and now there's a big CBD sign on the window. And once you go on the inside, it's the same thing that they do at every other store. You take the tincture off the shelf, flip it to the back, and they have fillers on there. The fillers are what's crazy to me. It makes my stomach drop, because how are all of these places, like 100% of them, going to had like the MCT oil, make it look like water, or maybe the glycerin's in there, or like just all of this nasty stuff? And it's probably because it's cheap, gives them better profit margins, or they have, big pharma's trying to cash in, so maybe they're trying to send you back to the pharmacy. So I did my research, went on YouTube, started finding like the TED Talks, started finding all these positive customer testimonials, finding positive press about the company, even like in news stories. You know how like bad news sells, like that's their business model? Well, it was crazy to me that not only was there all this positive press out there, but even the news stories were positive. That to me was crazy. That's what hooked me. And some of the other objections I had was like, man, is this going to be sustainable? 25,000 products could actually be made with hemp. The company's already caught on, from the hemp-infused coffee to the CBD bath bombs to the topicals to the pet treats. It's just absolutely exciting that the company already sees that vision and they're already taking action on it. And then I was thinking like, man, just with how much demand there is and all of that, like there's no competition, because our company does all the third-party testing. They source it from Kentucky. They basically have everything that's so sustainable. They scaled from 9.7 mil to 100 mil 1 year. No scaling issues, no delayed commission payments, no, hey, we got to sacrifice our quality product just to make the ends meet. That was the most professional scaling I've seen of any company. So one of the things I do want to remind you is that I didn't have a blog until roughly about March, because I went on a trip, and at the end of February to Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, I shot some of my videos that I was going to use to launch my blog. So in December, I didn't have any of that stuff. I didn't have a YouTube channel. This video you're watching right now was done on October 10th of 2019. So I didn't really have this. This is like one of my first videos for the launch of my YouTube channel. What it was for me was that a few days ago, I wrote down my list of everyone that popped up in my story. So this was just a few days ago that I did this, but in December of 2018, I did something very similar. I wrote down a list of the people who I felt would be very awesome, like they would do very well in this business, like they're the most influential people that I know. I did write down a list of potential customers. I wrote down 4 of my best friends. I wrote down people who I just thought would support me. And so that's where I started. Now, to be honest, I didn't contact everyone. But I did have them on a list. When you do Facebook post, kind of like what I did in December, then what'll happen is you'll get likes, comments, and shares. It's not a great way to track the business, because you should, instead of likes, comments, and shares, you should focus on traffic, leads, and sales. The one thing that I would do though with the likes, comments, and shares is I would actually write down who was responding. One of the reasons why I love Facebook stories so much is because you can go to the archive tab if you're on desktop, or if you're on mobile phone, you can go through and see who watched the story. And if you went through like your whole history of however many stories you've ever created, it could have been for the past couple weeks, it could have been for the past couple months, or it could even been like over the past couple years. You can go through the stories and make a list of who responds to you at all. who's seen your videos, who on some level knows, likes, and trusts you. It doesn't have to be on the level of like in your mobile phone, in your contacts. I would recommend that too, because you'll find a lot of people who support you in your mobile phone. The truth of the matter is that when I hit 5K in December, I had just come off of, in October, of signing up. I wouldn't do anything until I got to a live event. So in October, I got a chance to go to the live event, see that everything was real. And so I could firmly say that I could plant my flag in this company from a company standpoint. I still needed to meet the leaders though. So in November, I took the time to meet the leadership, see and kind of watch who's going to be ethical, who's going to be around for decades and decades and decades. And so bam, check. In December, that's when I decided now is the time to take action. And I believe one of the reasons why I was able to hit 5K so fast, not only from kind of building a list, prospecting the list, following up with the list, and if there's anything more to do that, then you continue adding to that list. Now it's 2019, there's better ways to do that, but to get started and to launch your business right way with the right momentum, even if you have a big email list, I still believe that you should build your initial list of at least 100, 200 people. And you'll notice here, like I've got pages and pages and pages. My goal is to get like to 700 people that are engaged with me that I personally write down, because you can go faster on Facebook when you write them down, because now you can search through everyone way, way, way faster versus like trying to find their profile and you click over and you meet someone new. That's cool too. But if you track, it gives you the ability to follow up faster. Like in 1 hour, I could go through all the names and have a conversation. Catch up. Hey, are you into CBD yet? Have you heard about what we're doing with CBD? And either send them the information, or you have their name there. So if you collect their email address, maybe you could get permission from them to pre-enroll them for them and put them inside the system. So that way you can now get them the free access. They've got emails that are helping them follow up, and every Thursday is the Thursday cutoff. So every week they have a new reason to make a decision. And it's really a game of how fast can you continue to pre-enroll? How fast can you continue to pre-enroll? And so that's where it started for me in my journey to become 5K rank. And my end goal and vision for building this as a walkaway business. And I'm just kind of like, I'm kind of mad at myself that it's now August and it took me this long to realize like, hey, I need to go back to my roots of what works. And what works for me personally, for my personality as an introvert and someone who I get sometimes pain and anxiety from even building the list and kind of prospecting people that I know, because I've been around in the space for a long time. And what I mean is like in a prior company, I personally put in 75 reps frontline in my first 60 days and duplicated in the same 60 days, so same time frame, 75 were frontline, and I duplicated to 150. But the company went out of business. They didn't send out any products. The bonuses and commissions and all the stuff that I earned, they didn't pay out. They wanted me to attend a live event in order to get the cash bonuses and all that. And so I just said, you know what, I'm done with it. The other company, and I received a lot of just awesome training there. But the problem with it was it was a high ticket deal that went out of business. Like to get started, it was $12,000. And while I do appreciate the company, the value that I got there, I learned so many amazing things. But anyone that worked with me in that company in the high ticket deal that paid like $12,000, chances are they probably don't want to talk to me ever again. And so I was just kind of done with startup companies. And it was exciting to be a part of a company with a great foundation that I know is going to be here for decades and decades and decades. It reminds me of when I first got started in direct sales in 2010 with a company called ACN. There was a leader on stage that was teaching team building, and 2019, at the time of shooting this video, still there with the same core group of leaders. That's a legacy residual income, and that's what I see here with this company. And they figured everything out. They scaled, no scaling issues. And you're probably wondering, Brian, what's your next step? So here's the next step for me is now that we've hit rank 5K and we've helped a bunch of our team members hit the rank of 5K and 10K as well. So it's actually crazy. If you look at my organization, there's people who make more money than I do, who are higher ranks than I do. And it's just because of the way that I built, which is really I was using the build one leg a year type of model. And because I understand with binaries, all you have to do is you have to build 2 legs, 2 organizations. So just my personal philosophy of what I did in the very beginning, hindsight, this probably would have changed. I would have balanced it out more because I knew I was going to be around for the next 2, 5, 10 years. And if you build 1 leg per year in network marketing, then what happens is everyone that you stack and stack and stack and stack, everyone up the line gets more motivated to stick around for a longer period of time. And so when you create stickiness in the organization and let's say on that second year, you go and build the other side of the organization, then it's a recipe for one of the biggest network marketing incomes ever. So here was the mistake that I did with that model, was that when I was shooting for the power leg, and it wasn't just me, but it was really the message of the whole organization. And because everyone was just building 1 leg at one time, then a lot of people missed the fact that if you build your lesser leg in a binary, then you can earn a passive monthly income. That increases retention. And so if I had to go back and redo things over on my way to 5K, I would have had everyone do binary qualified first. So alternate the legs, or if you have 1 strong leg, then put everyone on the lesser leg. So that was just a mistake that I made. But the game plan is still the game plan. I'm still looking to be a rank 100K. So at the October event of 2018, my game plan was to be a rank 100K by the October event of 2019. So a little bit more work to do, but here's my game plan to do it. Was originally I wanted to identify who my runners were. Because if I identify who my runners were, then we can start putting together team conference calls. We can do midday motivational calls. We can do Thursday locking your spot calls. We could do Saturday team trainings. And so any of the new members that we're now starting to get on board, we can create duplication in the organization and keep them around our campfire. But that takes a community of team members that are all working together with a unified message in one direction. So that needs to get started first, in my personal opinion. You really have to get in the trenches, identify who your runners are, and build a community first. That's culture. Then what you can do is, I really should have been doing this at the same exact time, but I mean, shoot, I'm Brian. I build slow. Sometimes I'm an idiot, so an idiot can do this too, right? It's August 10th, and here's my first YouTube video on my channel. I should have been doing this like 8 months ago. Here's the truth, that when you have an awesome system like the Hempworx BizOp link that you have once you have access as an affiliate, like if you're not in Hempworx, you might not know what that is, but you can just maybe click the link in the description and then you can find out what it is. Just take the free tour, right? Well, when you have someone take the free tour in the link in the description on any of the videos and someone becomes a lead, whether you are just waking up, maybe you're sleeping before, you're in the bathroom, you had to go eat some lunch, or maybe you're at the gym, or maybe you're doing a little bit of traveling, someone can be clicking your pre-enrollee link, taking the free tour, and potentially even making the decision to get started, depending on how much of your YouTube video that they watched, without you physically being there. So to me, when you do more videos and add more value, then you can create not only a passive monthly income, but a passive traffic source that continues to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. And once you do well enough with the YouTube channel, now it's starting to get picked up as a recommended video or a recommended channel. And so you can get traffic through search engines, you can get traffic through recommended video searches, you can get traffic through people loving your content so much that they like and share it. So for instance, like you do a cool compensation plan video, everyone loves the way that you explain the compensation plan, and so they start sharing your video. Does that start to make sense? Just cool stuff like that. Or you go travel to Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, and you do a review on the hotel, and everyone just wonders, like what is the hotel like if they go to stay there and they find your video, and then maybe they find your content, and maybe they take a free tour after that. There's videos like that you can do. Or maybe you have success with the products. Like maybe you just drank the Hempworx hemp-infused coffee and you want to do a customer testimonial on how awesome the coffee tastes and how good you feel to other coffee drinkers. And so when someone watches the video, they click the link in the description, they become a free, they take the free tour. That's a lead. So I'm looking to get to the point where I'm generating 10, 20, 30, even upwards of 50 free leads on a daily basis before I wake up in the morning to content. because I believe that if you can get up to like 20 or 30 coming from YouTube, I believe someone of that bunch on a daily basis is going to become a customer or an affiliate every single day, whether you wake up in the morning or not. If this happens consistently every single day with or without you through content, free content on YouTube, because you've done enough videos and you've served enough value into the marketplace, then you can start pre-enrolling a bunch of members consistently every single day without you physically being there. Meaning that people are now upgrading, especially on the Thursday cutoff, again, without you physically being there, and new sales are being generated in your organization, and you get to override any of the duplication from that. In the fast start commissions, up to 10 levels. In the binary, down unlimited. To me, that's a walkaway business, because if you have now what I call the selling system, which are your YouTube channel, people clicking the link in the description, and you have good leadership and team systems where someone gets plugged into the team and then maybe they start getting team emails that invite them to the next live event, that to me is phenomenal, that someone can get plugged into the system without you physically being there, and they get fast start training of how to build the business without you physically being there, and you can just really keep doing content and go live a cool life too. I believe your videos are going to do better once you hit 5K and above, because people are going to start to notice and pay attention and really start to understand that you're someone worth paying attention to. And if you start with your list to launch your business, it's a fast way to become 5K. And if you bring them in as an executive, you're going to get 400 BV a pop. So about 12 to 13 executives, whether you personally bring them in, which I would take responsibility and say, hey, you need to bring everyone in. But if you have a team member of a team member and 50 levels down, they bring in an executive, that 400 BV rolls all the way up. There's just a 50% leg roll, so it needs to be done in at least 2 legs. I recommend 4. I'm super excited and I am super pumped up, because when you get this video, I know it's a little bit longer, then you are going to understand that to keep the business simple, build a list, prospect that list, and follow up with the list and keep expanding that list. Again, when you get a little bit more advanced, I like to do it through email. And then there's other ways, like you can get like Facebook Messenger list, or you can get text list. I mean, there's all these cool fancy tools, but the basics are still the basics at the end of the day. Build a list, prospect the list, and follow up with the list, and then keep adding to that list. That's where I would start. Launch your business, get to 5K that way, and then if you have time, like you're not working a job, or you're willing to hustle a little bit more, or maybe you're just open to just getting things done, on a daily basis, I would create one unique piece of content every single day, whether it's a blog. I'm personally a fan of YouTube, because YouTube, it's so easy. Like you open the YouTube app, you shoot a video, could be like a video just on your phone, you hit upload, and the only thing you need to do is just title it something that someone would potentially search for, and then put your link in the description. And I'm a big fan of adding a description that people can search as well. That's it. In fact, it's way easier than prospecting a million people. The reason why you want the list is because you can go down it so fast. And so like if I had like an hour of prospecting time, I could go through, and with a list, I can go through every single person, start a conversation. Hey, are you in a CBD yet? That's cool. When you start going in the cold market, there's going to be less people that are going to respond to you positively as fast, because they're going to need to research you first. So if you spend the same hour on a good piece of content and upload it to YouTube, I believe a good YouTube video is going to prospect 50 to 100 people over the span of 6 months. So not right away, but over the span of 6 months, it'll prospect about 50 to 100 people, sometimes even more than that. And when they click the link in the description and fill out the capture page, that's someone basically raising their hand. And so the job of a capture page is the same thing that when you go suit and tie Walmarts and shopping malls, you're tapping people on the shoulder. A capture page does the same thing. Like when someone puts in their name and email address, is the same thing as you going through all of those people to find that one person who says, yes, hey, I'm open, and here's my contact info. The capture page is the same. It's the same process. And I believe that with the hour of time and being able to prospect 50 to 100 people over the course of 6 months, and you just do that every single day, it adds up, it adds up, it adds up, it adds up, it adds up. It's a snowball effect, and some of your best content you can always go back and review, and it's a way to become a much more powerful speaker. It's a way to become a little bit more influential over time, even if you're just the crazy person. I mean, crazy hair. I mean, I don't know if the hairline's going away, dirty shirt. But there's a reason why someone's going to listen and pay attention. They might not know what it is, or maybe they have to see your journey a little bit more. But I promise you one thing. If you subscribe to this channel and keep watching, you're going to understand from this video, which I'd almost call a vision video, and how to hit 5K rank in Hempworx in 30 days, first 30 days of promo. You're going to see how I build a wildly successful business where I have a lifestyle too. Not three-way calls all day, not hammering the phone all day. In fact, I'm going to have more customer success stories and testimonials on my personal team because I'm going to show them how to do it through content. And if you're inside of Hempworx, if you're inside of My Daily Choice, the reason why this is going to be so relevant to you and start building through content is because not only are you going to have a much cooler lifestyle too, more people are going to want to join you because you're not having them write a list and hammer every single person that they know for the next 2 years, but maybe just as a launch strategy. As a launch strategy, that's cool. But as a long-term, hey, we got to do things in a way that's cooler and effective, that people want to stick around for a long period of time. Here's my daily method of operation. Go through some content, learn something, like 10x rule, like read this book, read a book, learn the products, learn, do, teach simultaneously. Get a piece of information that's solid, or maybe some results that you've accomplished, and shoot a video on it and upload it daily. That's my new daily method of operation. Build a list, prospect that list, and follow up with that list. And then to add on, additionally, shoot one video and upload it to YouTube with a good title and your link in the description every single day. And if you keep doing that, here's what happens. And if you teach your team to do that. In Hempworx, if an affiliate goes inactive, the link rolls up to the next active sponsor. So let's say my link is hempworxbizop.com/CainBrian. And let's say Brian goes inactive. Well, when someone goes to that link now, then they would be able to click it. They would go to the same page, but they'll notice that the site is now my next active sponsor. What happens in an organization when you're teaching hundreds and thousands of people to blog? Well, one of two things. Either one, they stick around long enough, they stand the test of time, and they start seeing automated leads come into the funnel, which will typically produce automated sales. Or two, they quit, they go inactive, and so the traffic that they get from their videos like 6 months later rolls up to the next active sponsor. And let's say that you had 100 people on the team that quit over time just because, like, I mean, you're building and building and building and building, and everyone's videos rank 6 months later, and then the people who are going to quit are always going to quit anyways, because usually, like, success is a decision, and they just haven't made the decision yet to stay in. But now, when their leads roll up from the videos that they shot one time that they didn't know were going to rank in 6 months, and you're sitting at 50 to 100 leads every single day that was produced from your team, how much cooler of a lifestyle would you have? I am a big fan of teaching people to create content, upload it to YouTube. I'm a big fan of blogging. I'm going to be honest, blogging is way complicated. There's certain tools that I use to make blogging a little less complicated, but even then, there's no real way to simplify blogging, but there is a way to simplify YouTube. You shoot a video, you upload it, give it a good title, and you put your link in the description with maybe a searchable description too. That's it. And if you are wondering how to hit 5K, just do it. Like, don't wait 6 months. Just build your list. Go find the people who will support you. Find the people who are willing to run with you and work with them. And if you are looking to build a long-term sustainable walk-away business, create content to YouTube and show your team how to do it too. And that's how we can make it past 5K rank and start hitting some of the 100K rank, super affiliate, master affiliate levels, because I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own. Congratulations on your decision to rank advanced, and Hempworx will see you on the inside.